Hi, I'm Mario Singh. Welcome to the New Energy Conversations. Today I'll be chatting with Mark Thomas of the UN's office here in Trinidad and Tobago. Mark, thank you so much for agreeing to be part of the New Energy Conversations.
Thank you for having me.
Good. Can you explain the difference between SDGs and ESG?
So SDGs are the Sustainable Development Goals, and they are 17 goals that countries around the world have decided to pursue by the year 2030. And by pursuing these 17 sustainable development goals, such as no poverty, zero hunger, quality education, all the way down to protecting the environment on land, protecting the environment in the sea, and trying to guarantee strong institutions like democracy and judiciaries and police, etc. By pursuing those, countries can achieve sustainability where there is peace, prosperity, and a protected environment, and where the needs of future generations are not sacrificed for our current needs. This is for countries. It's not for companies per se, which is where ESG comes in. All right. ESG now is a business philosophy that if a company buys in, it judges its performance not just in terms of profits, but also in terms of its environmental performance, its social performance, and its governance performance. How it, the rules and processes by which it operates, and which are imposed on it by the government and laws.
Yeah.
So in terms of the Sustainable Development Goals, it's something that a country can gauge its progress and measure its progress relative to other countries. With ESG now, it's for a company to gauge its performance, right, and its viability and sustainability relative to other companies within its particular industry.
Yeah.
Now, since they entail the development of the country, everyone in the country is expected to contribute towards them. The government, of course, is contributing towards it. The private sector is contributing towards it. Civil society is contributing towards it. You and I, right, as citizens of the country, are expected to contribute towards this path, towards the Sustainable Development Goals, in the hope that we will accomplish them by 2030. Right? ESG stands for Environment, Social, and Governance, and it is a business philosophy. So it targets companies rather than countries. Right? And the idea with ESG now is that companies function within an environment and they impact the environment. They function within their society and they impact their society. And they are both governed by rules and regulations, and of course within the company itself, there are rules and regulations by which the company functions, right? So it is in the best interest of a company, not just it's just one sector within the country here now we're talking about, right? And the private sector, it's in their interest to protect the environment, to address social issues, and to address governance issues that they affect and that will affect them. So whereas SDGs deal with the country, ESG deals with your company, right? So it's a sort of subset of the SDG.
And what's the connection to SDGs, ESG, and climate change and the new era of energy, particularly renewable energy?
Yes. So of course, the E in ESG stands for the environment, and of course there are many ways in which companies can affect the environment. Pollution, for example. Noise, etc. Right? But of course, the one that has all the attention these days is, of course, climate change. And every company, every activity that a company undertakes in some way causes greenhouse gases to be released into the atmosphere, whether it's directly, let's say by some sort of like processing or whatever, or indirectly via the energy that they consume from the grid, all right? And from leaks and so on, all right? And there are ways in which a company can go about either measuring their contributions to their carbon footprint, their contributions to climate change, or calculating indirectly their contributions to climate change. Fossil fuels are a finite resource, right? Eventually, it's not like more of it is being produced. Eventually, it will run out. And at the same time, the renewable sector is becoming more and more adopted by many countries, including soon in Trinidad, as far as I understand. So there will be a shift away from fossil fuel energy towards renewable energy, sort of things like wind, solar, green hydrogen, which your MGC is involved with, as far as I know. Yeah. All right. So imagine now you were an investor and you were looking at an energy company to invest in, right? Would you, as an investor, if you were thinking of your 20-year pension or your 30-year pension or whatever, think I'm going to invest in a fossil fuel company or in a company that is addressing energy from a renewable standpoint? More and more people are investing in the renewables than they are in the fossil fuel-based energies. And Trinidad is, I think, well placed to make this transition. And I think the ball has already started rolling.
Mark, thank you very much for this enlightening conversation, and we thank you for being part of the new energy conversations.
Thank you very much.